Good morning. This is the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. My name's Dave Burney.
I'm Brent Apperson. Good morning.
Good to have you along. 7:31, 59 degrees outside on this Tuesday morning. Good to have you with us. We have a great show lined up for you. Lots of good guests coming in and a few other things we want to talk about this morning. One of those is something I think that is near and dear to many of our hearts out there, Brent. Something that most people in this area had the pleasure of going to when they were younger. That's a camera film playing at a drive-in theater.
Okay.
I can smell the popcorn now. Ah, yes. Pulling in, having a couple of your friends in the trunk.
Trying to sneak in free, were you?
Well, yeah, everybody tried that once. And here in this area, you might have come into the Bow Drive-In Theater and went up that wonderful lane that was, when you were a kid, seemed almost mysterious. It curved around the trees, and there was a different exit coming out, and there were so many people at the drive-in theater that there would be a patrolman sitting down on a bench down along Highway 2 to make sure everybody got out onto the highway.
Mm-hmm.
And I imagine if you lived somewhere else and you went to a drive-in theater, you experienced some of those same things. And recently, kind of made a comeback with drive-in theaters during the pandemic, and they would set up even blow-up screens in a lot. I know we happened to be over in North Platte to a wedding reception at the fairgrounds there, and that same night, right next to where the reception was, they had a good old-fashioned drive-in theater there, and popcorn and concessions, and a big blow-up screen, and the cars were parked there, and they could get the sound on their radios, and yeah, it was pretty cool. But in the old days, that's what you did, maybe especially on the summer months, even during the week, you might go out on an evening, and you kind of had to stay up late because you had to wait for it to get dark. And in June and July, it'd be 9:30 before the movie would start. And of course you had, the little cartoons getting you, interested in popcorn, and the concessions. They would show all that, of course, before the movie, and then you'd have to run up and get some popcorn before the movie started. And I guess there was a little smooching at the drive-in as well. That was kind of part of it as well, if you were dating. Maybe you were on that date we were talking about yesterday, hopefully not on your first date, just trying to find out if you like one another and go to the drive-in and smooch right away. But that would have been up to the people at the time. Did you go to the drive-in theaters?
Never been to a drive-in movie in my life.
That's too bad.
Yep.
That was so much fun.
Never experienced it.
That's a shame.
I do remember sometimes being in Grand Island as a kid, and we'd drive by, and we'd see the big screen, and I would always try to get Dad to turn around so I could see it again.
Yeah,
that's about as close as I ever came to a drive-in movie.
I remember that, when you could see it from the road, and it was very inviting to go in. We actually went to a couple of movies down there. It was always kind of fun to travel. People used to go, on trips and go to different drive-in theaters, and there was a few left that people would make a point to go to, and that were left even in Nebraska. I don't know how many are left, if any. But boy, you got you got popcorn, you got the summer, the beauty of summer, got mosquito bites, and if you forgot to unhook the speaker from your window, you also either
drove off with a speaker, huh?
or broke your window.
Nice.
There were some real things you had to pay attention to at a drive-in theater. But this is, by the way, National Drive-In Movie Day, celebrating the anniversary of the first drive-in theater opened in Camden, New Jersey, June 6, 1933. It cost 25 cents per person, plus another 25 cents for the car. So 50 cents for the, 25 cents for the car itself, and then however many you had in there, and then not including those in the trunk that might have got in for free. Recent study shows that during the social distancing, a lot of people really enjoyed the idea of going back out, and you could go to the movies and sit in your car and not be around anybody, which was a little bit of a drag. But 1933, it all started, and some good memories there. Concession stands were always, I mean, they just smelled really good. You went up there, and there was a playground. This one in Broken Bow had a playground beside it, so the kids could play before the movie or even during the movie.
Oh, nice.
That way, Mom and Dad might get a smooch in.
Oh, well, there you go.
Something to think about.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Uh-huh.
Also, as long as we're going down memory lane, National Yo-Yo Day.
Ah, the yo-yo.
Can you walk the dog?
No, I was never really good at the yo-yo.
Can you shoot the moon?
No, not really.
Well,
I love watching people who are yo-yo experts, though. Oh, man.
the ones that really were prominent when I was a kid, they were almost always red and blue, and they were wood. And then later, when people really got into them, they come up with these fancy, glittery plastic ones. But the first ones that most of us learned on was the wooden red and blue yo-yo.
I had a glow-in-the-dark one.
Oh, there's
one
another
time.
one, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That was cool.
So let's just put those two together. Let's go to the movies.
Okay.
And let's watch a movie, and before the movie, maybe hang around the car a little bit and
Do yo-yo tricks.
yeah, walk the dog, shoot
Right.
the moon. Ah, those were the days. The most important day, probably, well, it's one of the most important days in history, if not the most important, D-Day, 79th anniversary of D-Day, 1944, and the Battle of Normandy. That was when the Allied forces landed in France to begin liberating mainland Europe from Nazi Germany's occupation during World War II. More than 150,000 American, British, and Canadian soldiers landed on a 50-mile stretch of the coastline, carrying out one of the largest military beatdowns in history and ultimately the end of the war in Europe. Very big day. And I can't understand, and I don't know if this is appropriate or not, but we have people in our country right now who are wanting to become Nazis. That we have these extreme people out there who think being a Nazi would be a good thing. Their ideals would be a good thing for this country. I don't get that.
No.
And we have all of these men and women who sacrificed in World War II to end the Nazi regime, and we have some nutcases out there who think that that's what we need for our, quote, freedoms in this country. And that just actually gets me kind of worked up. I don't know about you. So thank you to our men and women and families who were a part of that invasion, military maneuver that stopped the Germans, stopped the Nazis. And then, of course, later, Japan fell. All right. That's enough nostalgia. Let's look into the future today.
Okay.
There's more AI information that we need to discuss.
Artificial intelligence.
Yep.
Oh, wonderful.
We'll have more of that later. Also, just to tease you just a little bit, you can now, if you get to the right doctor, take a pill. That pill goes inside your tummy, and they can look around.
Oh, okay.
Let's call it the look-around pill.
All right. So the pill includes a video camera or something, huh?
It has a camera in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And they run it with a joystick.
Wow. Oh, my goodness.
You
Technology.
just take a little drink of water, dump the pill down,
And
they can
the
look
doctor
around.
can just look inside you.
See what kind of cheeseburger you had.
Wow.
What you had on your cheeseburger.
Okay.
More importantly, what might be wrong in some of the areas of your body. I don't know where all the pill goes, but
Yeah.
I don't know whether it could. Well, I don't know.
I
Don't want to know.
I'll just ask it. How long would the cameras stay in there? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
I wonder how long. I don't
Yeah,
know.
and does it? Well, since I guess it's kind of magnetic.
It too would pass sometime.
Can they bring it up through the top or the bottom is the question we're asking. Let's take a look at the menu today for the Prairie Pioneer Center menu. We have the menu now. Today they're having meatloaf, scalloped potatoes, 4-bean salad, applesauce, and bread. Nice guest list today, so get ready. Lots of good people coming in to talk about lots of good things here in central Nebraska on this National Yo-Yo Day, National Drive-In Movie Day, and the 79th anniversary of D-Day, amongst other things. Expect Arrow Seed in here in a little bit. Mark Stock will be our guest. And we're going to be visiting with some folks about the Muddy Creek celebration today, off-Broadway assisted living. And Chris Smith will be in from Palmer Monument to talk to us.
Oh, yeah, it's after Memorial Day.
Yeah,
probably
special.
their big after Memorial Day sale, I'm guessing.
Yep. Very, I don't know. Every time Chris comes in, I think, well, I don't know, maybe people won't be interested in talking about monuments, but there's so much to it. When you start talking about monuments and remembering people and different ways to do it, I think it's fascinating, and the art and so forth and skills that they can use with the people they have to build these special monuments, I think it's pretty neat. So we'll get Chris in here to talk about that, and he'll probably have some other things he wants to talk about. I saw some pictures of him catching some fish the other day.
Oh.
It was disgusting.
What is with you about your jealousy toward other people catching fish?
Because I've won cold. I used to be able to catch fish and really feel like I knew what I was doing.
So you're kind of like that Major League Baseball hitter that's gone into a slump.
Exactly.
Is that what you're saying?
I'm in a slump.
Okay.
And I don't want to hear about Chris Smith catching walleye.
Oh, boy.
Just burns me. But I'm sure he'll mention it.
Well, yeah, especially if he kind of hit a hot streak.
Oh, yeah.
I guess I never thought about that. But, yeah, I guess that could happen in fishing just like sports. You kind of hit a hot streak, and it's just like no matter what you try, no matter what you do, it just works. And then there's other times you go into a slump where it doesn't matter what you're casting out or what method you're using, it just doesn't happen.
Yeah, or you're just not, you're 200 yards away from another boat or 100 yards away from another boat, and you can tell they're ripping fish in, and you just don't want to go over and look.
Yeah, now that gets frustrating.
Yeah.
When you're not too far away from other people who have hit a hot streak.
Or smart Alex like Smith posts these big pictures of,
Now I don't mind if they post stuff of their success.
Well, I don't like it.
I feel good for them.
I'm just kidding.
You're not kidding.
I am.
can see it. I can see it in your eyes. You're kind of frustrated. You're jealous. Just say it.
Well, there's another side to this story.
Okay.
And I'm having some financial problems right now, and I can't afford to go fishing.
Financial problems.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got some people who owe me some money.
Oh boy, here we go.
I might have to lay off my office personnel.
Oh, for your knife sharpening and lawn service?
Yeah, billing department.
I got to be honest. I tried to, I did think of you last night. I tried to cut into a tomato for make a BLT.
Yeah.
And the knife I have, it wasn't cutting through the tomato very good.
Hey,
and I
neighbor.
got to be honest, I was thinking of Dave Burney's knife sharpening service.
Neighbor, you just bring it on over.
Yeah, well, no.
I'll sharpen your knives for you.
I'm not bringing anything over for you to work on until I get a legitimate quote as to what it's going to cost me.
Well, we're neighbors.
Yeah, neighbors.
We're good buddies.
Uh-huh.
I have a ticket to throw in for the game today.
Okay.
For the 2023, and this is the final Comstock Windmill Festival at the Second Wind Ranch near Comstock. And this is a single-day admission ticket. You can go June 8th through the 10th. So I have a ticket here to go along with the prize that you have.
All right. Well, it's Tuesday, so that means it's Tumbleweed Day. And the prize that we're giving away to the Tumbleweed, this is good for one free breakfast item that you can swing through the drive-thru and pick up Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. Don't forget their new dine-in hours are now 6 to 4. They do those delicious already made casseroles and such that you can pick up later in the day, and they're all frozen, ready to put in the oven, and you can bake them and have them ready to go for supper. So take advantage of some of the new things going on right now at the Tumbleweed Cafe in Broken Bow. All right, new batch of questions beginning today. June is often considered the wedding month. So with that in mind, we're going to see what you know about these famous couples. The first one, Rhett Butler and Scarlett O'Hara. A famous couple in which classic novel, which also became a classic movie?
Frankly, Brent, I don't give a
hoot. Goodness. Here's your choices if you need them. The Great Gatsby, Pride and Prejudice, Gone with the Wind, or To Kill a Mockingbird. The famous couple, Rhett Butler and Scarlett O'Hara. From which classic novel? The Great Gatsby, Pride and Prejudice, Gone with the Wind, or To Kill a Mockingbird? If you know, call us at 872-2801.
Go and enjoy delicious home-style food and dine at the Tumbleweed Cafe from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. every day. Or if you're on the go, swing through the drive-thru. In the morning, grab hot and fresh breakfast items. Meet at dinner for the family at home, but don't have the time to make it yourself? Breakfast casseroles, Reuben casseroles, chicken pot pies, lasagna, enchiladas, fresh bread, and more are ready to go home with you to pop in the oven from the Tumbleweed Cafe in Broken Bow.
And we have Sandy on the line. Good morning, Sandy. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Good, good. I have to ask you a question. Have you been out to Tumbleweed lately?
Oh, yeah, go out there once in a while.
I thought maybe you did. Do you have breakfast out there ever?
Not yet, I have not.
You've got to try that. Just that drive-through, or go in and have it. Now, do you like bacon and eggs?
I do.
You like toast with your bacon and eggs?
I sure do.
Do you put jelly on it, or just butter, or butter and jelly?
Butter and jelly.
You both? You're just kind of a wild woman.
I know.
Here's Brent with his questions.
Okay, Sandy, here's your question. Rhett Butler and Scarlett O'Hara, famous couple in which classic novel and classic movie? The choices are The Great Gatsby, Pride and Prejudice, Gone with the Wind, or To Kill a Mockingbird.
Gone with the Wind?
Oh, of course, yes, it was Gone with the Wind. And because you've answered correctly, we have a certificate that's going to get you a free breakfast item that you can pick up at the drive-thru at the Tumbleweed Cafe Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. And if you'd like to go to the Comstock Windmill Festival, Dave's got a ticket that'll get you into one of the nights there, too. So,
that's just great.
All right, come on out and see us.
All right, thanks a lot. Have
Thanks,
a good
Sandy.
day, guys.
You too. Both butter and jelly.
Yeah. Man, what got into you with the ringing of the bell there? You just wouldn't stop.
Just felt good. I don't know why today. I noticed when I come over here and I went back over to the other station, I had two songs playing at once.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I don't know why, because the song, it was weird. I hadn't seen this before. So the song, I had a stop beside the song, right? So that it would play and then stop.
Yes.
And then I had another song. I usually put another song after that so I know the timing.
Sure.
So it skipped this one that was supposed to stop and played the second one. And then it played both of them at the same time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it made me feel like I was extra lucky today.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, you know, how often can you play two songs at the same time?
Well, that's a very good point. Hey, Dave was a winner. Dave was a winner earlier this morning. Played two songs at the same time.
Right on. Real quick, I'd like to just say, if you haven't tried the breakfast menu out of the Tumbleweed Cafe, give it a whirl. Drive through, pick up the breakfast goodies. Casseroles in the evening. You can just pick up a casserole by 6 o'clock and take it home, warm it up, and man, pretty darn tasty.
Yeah.
And of course, they have all their regular menu items during the day, their noon specials, Sunday buffet. They cater. They have a party room. Carmen and the crew will take care of you at the Tumbleweed Cafe.
Wow, impressive. It rhymed.
back in the rhyming again, Logan.
Can I introduce our next guest?
Sure you
Because
can.
I don't mean to pick on him or anything. Logan Girardin is here from Aeroseed. What is with you? You're wearing a coat. What is with you? It's June.
I realized that. So I was up fairly early this morning in my garden.
Oh, okay.
Doing some gardening.
All right.
And I've actually got some peppers
Okay.
on the plants, and I had to cover one of them up
Oh,
because it was a little chilly.
okay. And that's why you're wearing a coat.
That's why I'm wearing a jacket.
Okay, all right, great. I'm
All
sorry, I
right.
just had to give you a hard time.
That's fine.
We're going to regroup real quick, take a fast break, and be back with Logan Girardin from Aeroseed and Broken Bow. Stay tuned.
Here's a new product alert from your friends at Barney Health Mart in Broken Bow. They are proud to now carry Anchored Northwest products, including candles and wax melts. Don't forget to shop their selection of wax warmers, too. Made with all natural ingredients, every single scent is an amazing fragrance and essential oil blend. Go check out these amazing products from a husband and wife small business at Barney Health Mart in Broken Bow. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
There are many good reasons to pre-select your family memorial. During the month of June is one more good reason. Palmer Monuments After Memorial Day Sale. Go and see Palmer Monument today, and when you bring the coupon from the newspaper, receive additional savings off their already reduced prices. Their goal is to assist you in selecting a memorial that best fits your family needs, and they'll save you money too. During the After Memorial Day sale at Palmer Monument Company of Broken Bow and Lexington.
In the morning, you are awakened by the twitter of a little bird.
No, it's Dave and Brent.
I knew there was a reason I got out of bed this morning.
The Get Up and Go Breakfast Show on KCNI, KBBN.
All right, Logan, how you doing?
I'm not doing too bad.
You do look a little warm. Are you warm enough in here?
Yeah, it's all right.
Okay.
Well, so speaking of warm, had to take my dog to the vet yesterday.
Uh-oh.
She was running a fever,
Oh, no.
and all they told me was to get some mustard and put it on her.
Mustard?
Yeah, because that's the best thing for a hot dog.
I knew that was coming. Yeah, a little relish, you know.
Sauerkraut, a little
Yeah,
relish.
be feeling better in no
Oh,
time.
yeah.
What's keeping you busy at Aeroseed?
Everything.
All right.
All of it. All of the above.
Tell us what you've been doing and what people are asking for.
Well, there's rain, there's moisture, there's a shortage of feed. So there's been a lot of cane and millet and sorghum sudan and silage sorghum and pearl millet and everything going in the ground. Cover crops are going pretty hot and heavy, mixes. I mean, it's everything.
Just the whole smorgasbord.
The whole kit and caboodle. A lot of turf grass going in still, a lot of gardens going in. I mean, it's just everything.
That's great.
It is.
And really, the weather's just been so beautiful lately. The nights now have been in the 50s rather than the upper 30s and 40s. So, well, we're really gaining, but in some ways it's still kind of early because of the temperatures that we had earlier. So,
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it's probably a little bit early, but
Yeah.
honestly, we're probably right on time.
back on time.
You know,
All right.
so gardens are thriving right now. I know my garden looks really, really good. A lot of sweet corn still going in. I mean, it's just, it's crazy,
Yeah,
but it is what it is.
it's all good.
It is.
And we had the nice rain over the weekend for the lawns and for the farm ground and pastures.
Yep.
So I think people should be smiling.
I would sure hope so.
Yeah. So smile when you go into Aeroseed.
Yeah, and you can smile when you walk in. We actually have 25% off all of our garden plants, all of our veggies and flowers and all that stuff. So the other thing that we've still got is sweet potatoes.
All right.
So, you know, I don't usually get excited for sweet potatoes, but I am this year.
Oh, man, you just never know when it's coming. That's what I love about it.
So come and get some sweet potatoes to get in your garden. And I mean, like I said, I'm not a huge sweet potato guy, but there's just something about the sweet potatoes with some marshmallow in it. You know, it's just good. Maybe some sweet potato fries.
Yeah, those are good.
So here's a question for you two.
All right.
Do you like the crinkle cut fries, the regular French fries, or like the waffle cut French fries?
Yes.
Regular.
Bring them all on.
Perfect.
Yes, I like them all.
Well, good.
I like the regular ones the best, but
Yeah.
I'll eat any of them, yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Because we still do have some regular potatoes too.
Nice.
So you can get some regular seed potatoes put in the ground. You know, they'll still produce for you.
Still have the Majestics.
We do still have the purple Majesties available. You know,
Okay.
they'd make some very unique French fries.
Yeah, there you
Oh,
go.
that would.
So,
That'd be fun. All right.
you know, and with French fries, everybody's like, oh, French fries were made in France. That's why they're French fries. No, they were actually made in Greece.
Yes, lots of times they are. Oh, man.
Would you take over, Brett?
I don't know if I can.
I don't know if I can deal with it anymore.
So, update us on the greenhouse. What's left in the greenhouse? Or
So
is...
everything is actually moved out in
Okay.
front.
All right.
So there's still some tomatoes. I think there's some peppers left. There's still a few flowers left. There's some herbs left.
Okay.
You know, we've got just a little kind of a hodgepodge of everything, but not a lot of any one thing.
Sure.
So we do still have some onion sets. We
Okay.
do still have some sweet onion plants. You know, so if you want to get that salsa garden going, we can get you pretty much all the way there.
Yeah.
So
Update us on the lawn. Man, with this moisture, boy,
they're looking.
aren't they looking good?
They're looking
Compared
great.
to what they were not too long ago. Where are we at in the process to keep them looking good?
So the biggest thing right now you got to watch out for is those predatory lawn care guys. You know, they just come out of the woodwork this time of year.
Yeah,
and
tell
they,
me about
you
it.
know, they really try to get you.
Yeah,
So you
just-
need to keep an eye out for them.
Just show up and then
You know, and
do
then,
something to your yard and then send you a bill
and then send you
that
a
you're
bill.
not expecting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. You really got to watch out for that this time of year.
Good reminder.
So everybody beware. I'm not going to name names.
No, we would never do that.
But I've heard some ramblings
Yeah.
that
Good.
that's kind of a thing. You know, and honestly, if you're on our 5-step fertilizer program, you know, it will make your yard look so good that a lot of those guys are gonna be frothing at the mouth to take care of it for you.
Yeah, sure.
So just be careful with that.
Okay. Thank you, Logan.
Yes, just a little PSA for you.
All right.
I have a little motto with that. Grow, baby, grow.
So we're on our 2nd step right now, and that's just kind of spoon feeding it, you know, getting it really geared up for the hot summer months. Then here in 3 to 4 weeks, we'll do our 3rd application, which will be grub control with iron. So it'll make it, you know, kill the grubs, make the yard look happy, and make it look that dark green color with the iron.
Okay.
So that's kind of where we're at right now with it.
Good.
Booking right along, almost halfway through the 5-step program.
Yeah, I know. It just, I think Dave and I were talking about this the other day. No matter what time of year you're at, it seems like you're always saying, I can't believe that we're at this time of year.
Yeah, exactly.
So it goes fast.
Yep, it does. The summer's going to blow by.
Yeah.
And it makes it good that we're getting moisture. You know, last year when it was so dry, I feel like everybody was just kind of in a down mood. You know, like, well, this weather's no good. I don't like it being dry like this because it just hurts everything. You know, you get some rain, get some timely rain. Everybody has a little pep in their step now. Like, that outlook's looking pretty good.
Yep.
So
It's always more fun when you think you got a shot at it, right?
it is. It really is.
Yeah, when you got a chance of really having a year of a successful growing, of whether it's a yard or a pasture or corn, soybeans, wheat, rye, whatever. Yeah, all
Exactly.
the other cover crops you talk about.
Yep. So a lot of warm season cover crops going in right now. So that's mixes of cowpeas, forage beans, different forage sorghums, millets, sorghum sedans, you know, stuff that'll really stockpile that grazing capability after it freezes. You know, you let it go, just let it go,
Let
and
it
then
go, yeah.
get that forage stockpiled back up.
All right. Logan, thanks a lot for all the information you've provided this morning.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'll try to do better next week.
You never disappoint.
Thanks, guys.
News is next.
You are listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI, KBBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News Brief. Moscow and Kyiv accusing each other of shelling a major dam in the Russian-occupied Kherson region. Britain's foreign secretary says Russia bears ultimate responsibility.
The only reason that this is an issue at all is because of Russia's unprovoked full-scale invasion of Ukraine.
Local towns are being flooded and operations at the Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant could be affected. Donald Trump's lawyers spent 2 hours behind closed doors at the Justice Department, currently weighing possible criminal charges over those classified documents found in Trump properties.
The former president defended himself shortly after the meeting on his platform Truth Social, claiming he should not be charged since he did nothing wrong.
CBS's Robert Costa. And Prince Harry has taken the stand in a phone hacking trial. Here's royal commentator Afua Hagen.
Prince Harry has said he's doing this because he wants to hold people to account for what they have done, so they can't hide behind an institution or an organization.
CBS News Brief, I'm Vicki Barker.
In Nebraska news, a Grand Island teenager pleaded not guilty to a robbery connected to a March murder at Fauner Park Horse Barn. Lane Harris, age 17, pleaded not guilty to robbery and a conspiracy to commit robbery. A trial date for Harris has not been scheduled as of Monday afternoon. Court records show Harris is accused of stealing money from Todd Schurer and that he was involved in a conspiracy to rob Schurer. Schurer was shot and beaten to death March 9th in a tack room in one of the horse barns at Fauner Park. Investigators referred to Harris by his initials in documents related to charges against Logan Hunt's horse and Austin Kelly. Those documents indicate Harris was with the other suspects when they met Schurer before his murder, and that Harris followed the other back to the Schurer tack room in the horse barn, and that Harris left Fauner Park and went to Walmart with the other suspects after Schurer was shot. Previous testimony during a probable cause hearing for Hunt's horse indicated, however, that Harris stayed behind at Walmart when the other suspects returned to Fauner Park. After Hunt's horse and Kelly returned to Fauner Park, Schurer was struck with a baseball bat, and they discovered that he was still alive. The cases against Hunt, horse, and Kelly have been transferred to trial court. Harris is free on $5,000 bond.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Eddie Garcia.
In Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final, the Golden Knights rolled to a 7-2 win over the Panthers to take a 2-0 series lead. Jonathan Marchessault and Brett Howden each a pair of goals for Vegas in the win. Florida goalie Sergei Bobrovsky allowed 4 goals on 13 shots before getting pulled, as Vegas has now outscored Florida in the first 2 games of the series, 12-4. The series now shifts to Florida for Game 3 coming up on Thursday. In baseball games of note, the Rays beat the Red Sox 4-1. Tampa Bay's now Major League best 41-19 on the season. Shane McClanahan earns his Major League leading 9th win of the season for Tampa. Rangers walk off with a 4-3 win over the Cardinals. Pirates won their 6th in a row, beating the A's 5-4. Pittsburgh now on top of the NL Central by a half game on Milwaukee, with the Brewers being shut out by the Reds 2-0. Astros beat up on the Blue Jays 11-4. Padres shut out the Cubs 5-0. Phillies beat the Tigers 4-2. Philadelphia starter Aaron Nola took a no-hitter into the 7th, ended up allowing 1 hit with 12 strikeouts.
Here's your weatherology forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Daytime highs approaching 82. Today, under mainly clear skies, winds out of the east, 8 to 15 miles per hour. Mainly clear skies again. Tonight, slight chance for scattered storms, lows level off around 57. Chance for scattered thunderstorms again. Tomorrow, daytime highs approaching 81, mainly sunny skies and calm. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki.
Inflation has pushed up the cost of just about everything, which means if you bought life insurance a few years ago, it might not be enough to protect your family today. Now is the time to get the insurance you need at a price you can afford. In a hurry? Don't worry. Call Select Quote now and get up to $2 million in instant, affordable, same-day coverage with no medical exam. That's right. You can get up to $2 million in instant, affordable, same-day coverage with no medical exam in under an hour.
Call Select Quote at 1-800-613-8990. That's 1-800-613-8990. Or go to SelectQuote.com now and get up to $2 million in instant, affordable same-day coverage with no medical exam. That's 1-800-613-8990. Or go to SelectQuote.com now.
Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
6 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock, 62 degrees under a sunny sky. Winds are calm this morning. Barometric pressure steady at 30.08. Humidity at 90%. High temperature yesterday, 82, with an overnight low of 54. Sunset today at 9:08. Sunrise tomorrow morning at 6:05. Precipitation for this month, an inch 2200ths. That's a look at weather and news at 8 here on the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. All right, I want to talk a little bit about an upcoming event that we have a flyer here on. We're going to hit on this quite a bit. It's a ways off yet. On Saturday, June 17th, it's the 413, or yes, the fourth month 13 Fire Department Appreciation Event, and this will be during Big Sky Jubilee, and it will be at the Anselmo Fire Hall. Join us to thank and support the 64 fire departments that responded to the railroad and lightning fires in Blaine and Custer County on April 13th, 2023. There'll be a silent auction starting at 5 p.m., a barbecue at 6 p.m., raffle drawings at 7, a live auction at 7:30, and they'll have live music to conclude the evening. And if you'd like more information about that, you can contact Dave Lamb or Jim Scott, Jesse Mason, or Bonnie Winters. This is the 4-13 Fire Department Appreciation Event. You can follow them on Facebook for more information and updates on the event and auction items. On the day before that is the Anselmo Pitmaster Challenge on Friday the 16th of June, and we had George in just the other day to talk about it, and they're going to be having lots of competitors. They're going to have a Calcutta. They're going to have all sorts of fun. Plus, they're going to have a comedian that evening as well to entertain you while you eat all that good food. And so that's going to be a lot of fun. So they're really cranking it up at Anselmo this year. Later on this morning, we're going to learn more about the Muddy Creek celebration in Ansley. We'll get that right from the folks who are organizing that.
Sounds good.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show on KCNI, KBBN Radio, your locally owned homegrown radio stations in Custer County and central Nebraska. Blackberry smoke on the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show.
If there's one thing we know about dads, it's that they like to be comfortable and they like to show their love for their team. When getting your gift for Father's Day, check both of those boxes at Geared for Sports in Broken Bow. From Huskers to local teams, get Dad the apparel he'll love at Geared for Sports. And through Father's Day, you can save 25% off that apparel. Open Monday to Friday 10 to 6 and Saturday 10 to 4 in Broken Bow on the west side of the square, Geared for Sports.
Lashley Land Recreational Brokers is proud to offer Custer County Canyons and Wildlife, a 721-acre ranch located approximately 8 miles southeast of Arnold, Nebraska. These picturesque canyons are full of a wide variety of wildlife, to the extent this would be an outfitter's dream. The property is available as a whole or in 2 tracks. Call me, John Farley, or check it out at lashleyland.com.
Gary's Superfoods invites you to save with them. Make sure you check out the full ad online at garysuperfoods.com. Sold in a 10-pound tube, 80% lean ground beef is $3.69 a pound. Delicious Honeycrisp apples are $1.99 a pound. Start your day with Kellogg's cereal, 2 for $8. For dessert, Marie Collander's fruit or cream pies are only $6.49. Chairman's Reserve boneless pork loin chops are 10 for $10. Savings are waiting at South B Street in Broken Bow at Gary's Superfoods.
No, there ain't nothing like the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show.
Just want to let you know that I love the show.
I love what you guys are doing in the morning. It makes my day so much better.
KCNI, KBBN Radio.
8:13, if you're celebrating a birthday today, you're celebrating with Uncle Cracker.
Oh, okay.
Matthew Schaefer, 49 today.
I was wondering, I was going to ask you what his actual name was.
Yeah, that's his real name, 49, singer/rapper, known for his hits Follow Me and Drift Away.
Yeah, he did a nice cover of Drift Away. His cover was okay.
Okay, yeah. That's good.
Did some duets with Kenny actually had a country hit. Did you know that?
I did not.
Yeah.
He also started his career spinning the turntables for Kid Rock before going solo.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Gary U.S. Bonds, a staple in the music business on the rockin' side, mostly an R&B rocker, had 2 big hits 20 years apart. One called Quarter to Three in 1961, and you might remember this one from 81, This Little Girl. And he was really promoted by Stevie Van Zandt and Bruce Springsteen because they were huge Gary U.S. Bonds fans, and they kind of got him going in the 80s, and he had that hit in 81 that got him back on the music map. So if you're having a birthday today, you're celebrating with those folks and many others. Our first AI story of the day, artificial intelligence is what they call it.
Yes.
A 7th grader caught cheating with AI, which is becoming more and more common. The kids have picked up the use of AI for doing some of their assignments.
Oh, helping them on tests. Okay.
This one was really blotched. It was kind of a dumb thing to do. The 7th grader turned in his report, handed it in, but didn't really read it himself before he handed it in. And it said something at the end. In conclusion, it said, I don't have any personal expectations for this report. Kind of dashed his hopes there. And then it was also handwritten by the artificial intelligence, which the kid didn't even realize. And none of the kids turned in handwritten reports for this report.
I see,
they
yeah.
type them up on
out.
their keyboard. So that was not very smart of the 7th grader to turn it in without reading it first. So kids, if you cheat, you might want to read
it's still
what
good.
You're cheating for.
Yeah, even if you cheat, it's still good to proofread.
Yes, proofread your cheating.
Yes.
That's a sad commentary on what's going on right now, but yeah, and the funny part of it was the whole thing was posted by the kid's uncle, who happens to be a big tech CEO.
Ah.
Yeah. Here's one for you that might interest you folks out there if you like carving. And if you have a sharp knife or sharp carving instrument, which I could help you with, you actually could do what this gentleman has done. In France, A carpenter spent 5,000 hours carving, sanding, and gluing together a car made entirely out of wood.
A car?
A car. Now he's selling it for $250,000, for $250,000. It's a replica of a 1949 Citro. The body is made from a combination of cherry and apple wood, and the trunk is carved out of walnut. Even the interior is sculpted from trees. It's beautiful, but as far as transportation goes, it's about as practical as a coffee table.
Uh-huh.
But somebody wants it, $250,000.
Wow.
And he has 5,000 hours of carving and building it. Wouldn't that be kind of cool, though, wouldn't it?
I would like to see that. I would like to see a picture of that.
Yeah. No kidding. So if you are out there carving and you need your tools sharpened.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, who should they contact?
They should contact Dave's Knife Sharpening and Lawn Service.
Cha-ching.
Here in Broken Bow.
All right, 15-second live read. Charge to Dave Burney.
And as business goes...
Salesperson Brent Epperson. Commission paid to Brent Epperson. Okay, got it.
And folks, as business goes, as you know out there, if you've been in business, you have to have people who owe you money pay their bills so that you can pay for live reads and so forth.
You know what? Once you pay your bill for all of this advertising you're doing, and I get commission from it, I might be able to pay your bill.
I don't think it's going to pencil out quite right. I haven't billed you for the last mowing yet. You haven't paid for the first one. I hate to say that on the air and expose you that way.
Well, it's all right. I don't think you've paid for any of your advertising yet either, so...
The Nebraska Department of Transportation has a couple of job openings for highway maintenance workers in Ansley and Broken Bow. They will train you. They have opportunities, advancement opportunities, ample paid time off, a work-life balance, comprehensive benefits package, including matching retirement contribution. And at the Nebraska Department of Transportation, they will reward their employees who work hard with a friendly and supportive work environment that encourages creativity and innovation. You will have to apply online for this now, so here's your address, online at statejobs.nebraska.gov. Complete that application and get in the hunt for these jobs available. The state of Nebraska is an equal opportunity veterans preference employer.
All right. Can I do some promotional work?
Well, as long as it's not personal.
Department?
As long as it's not for your own personal gain.
It has to do with work. Yeah, as long as it's not for personal gain. Tomorrow night, of course, we're going to do American Legion Seniors Baseball. We'll have that on the air. Broken Bow taking on Lexington at Paul Brown Field. Seniors game at 8 o'clock. We'll broadcast that, but we encourage you to come out, cheer on the juniors at 6 o'clock prior to that. And then later this month, we have made arrangements. This is something we did a year ago, and this will be the second year of the event. Last year, the MNAC, which is a conference that consists of many of our area teams and schools, Mid-Nebraska Activities Conference, a conference that we cover quite a bit here at KCNI, KBBN Radio. Last year, they started an all-star basketball game with the MAC Conference, which includes teams from kind of the western part of the state, schools and teams like Garden County, Potter-Dix. I think Baird is in the conference and some others. But they put together an all-star basketball game between the two conferences last year, and they will do that again this year on June 16th in Sutherland, Nebraska. And we are going to go broadcast that for you again this year. We'll have the games on the radio on KBBN 95.3 FM, and we'll also plan to do a live video stream of the games as well, which you can access on sandhillsexpress.com and also our Sandhills Express YouTube channel. And that will be coming up on June 16th of this month. Girls game will tip at around 5. Boys game will follow, and we'll be there to have them for you live on Central Nebraska's Sports Source.
All right, thank you, Brent. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we're going to feature Mr. Mark Stock with Big Iron Oxen Company. That's next.
Aero Aviation.
Cattlemen, spring is here and things are starting to green up. But alongside the good green like pasture grass and trees come the bad greens, musk thistles, mullenweed, buckbrush, and other weeds. Let Aero Aviation help you get the bad green under control this spring. They use the latest in aircraft and GPS technology and crop protection products while keeping the good green in your pocket. Call Casey, Melissa, or Kim today and schedule spring spraying with Aero Aviation, 872-5113.
Do you have a laundry list of projects to do around your home? Refresh your space by completing that list of home improvement projects with the help of a HELOC from Bruning Bank. If an updated look is not enough and you're ready to buy a new home, we can help with that too. Navigating a home purchase can be confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let our friendly, experienced staff guide you to owning the home of your dreams. You can apply in person, online at bruningbank.com, or give us a call at 308-872-2757 to get started. Bruning Bank, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 473773, member FDIC.
With summer upon us, our friend the sun will be out more and more and be more hot than ever. Protect your head with an American straw hat from Bow Bootery. Right now, they're $20 off. Whether you're looking for something sporty or practical, for work or for play, American straw hats are the way to go. And you can save $20 right now, too. Go and see them at Bow Bootery on the square. They are proud to be your home-owned shoe store.
Well, happy Tuesday morning, everybody. Big Iron will be selling some land in Reno County, Kansas today. We've got some feeder steers and feeder heifers selling at noon, and at 1 o'clock we got the Pharaoh-influenced female sale. So a good day of events to watch online here on Big Iron. Let's start with 557 acres of Reno County, Kansas land that will sell in 5 different tracts, and this real estate will start to close out at 11 o'clock this morning. Some of the finest, best located, and desirable farmland in Reno County, Kansas will sell. 4 of the tracts border the southwest city limits of South Hutchinson, Kansas. So tracts 1, 2, and 3 are prime commercial and residential development properties. These tracts have outstanding visibility and access to 2 major highways, US 50 and K96, right into Hutchinson and South Hutchinson, Kansas. Now, the land sells in 5 tracts with no combinations of tracts. And if you are an investor looking for a great opportunity, folks, we encourage you to get a hold of Mike Campbell. He is the Big Iron Realty agent that is handling this property. All of the land is growing into wheat, and the new buyer will receive the 2023 cash rent of $50 an acre on this wheat once it closes. So you're going to have some instantaneous return in addition to some outstanding future development potential real estate. We're working for the Judy Trust as this land sells once again today in Reno County, Kansas at 11 o'clock on BigIron.com. And then, folks, we've got some livestock selling. At 12 o'clock today, folks, we've got some really nice feeder steers and feeder heifers selling by Atkinson, Nebraska, folks. 59 head of red Angus steers will sell to the highest bidder. Over by St. Edward, Nebraska, there's several packages of steers and heifers. Here's 40 head of red Angus feeder steers weighing 835 pounds, 13 black feeder steers weighing 835 pounds, 42 head of red Angus feeder heifers. They're weighing 820 pounds. They're selling by St. Edward, Nebraska. There's 12 black feeder heifers, 820 pounders. Also by St. Edward. By Cedar Rapids, Nebraska, folks, there's 2 bunches of 65 head per bunch. These are black and black white-faced steers weighing right around 850 pounds. There's 50 black and black white-faced steers weighing 760 pounds, 64 black and black white-faced heifers. They're weighing just a little over 835 pounds. There's 20 black and black white-faced heifers weighing 835 pounds, 31 head of red Angus steers, 775 pounds. These animals by Cedar Rapids, Nebraska, will sell to the highest bidder at 12 o'clock noon on BigIron.com. And then at 1 o'clock today, folks, it's the Pharaoh Influence female sale. Animals, once again, selling on the Big Iron website. A lot of first calf, second and third calf cows. We've got some fall breds. We've got some replacement heifers selling. They're located all across the country. Here is 10 commercial black first calf heifer pairs selling by Meade, Kansas. We've got 10 commercial black 6-year-old pairs also selling by Meade, Kansas. By Marienthal, Kansas, folks, 6 black first calf heifer pairs will sell. There's 11 black 3 to 4-year-old pairs selling. There's also 5 black 6-year-old pairs selling. By Perryton, Texas, folks, 6 red Angus first calf heifer pairs will sell. There's 10 red Angus 4 to 8-year-old pairs selling. We've also got some animals selling in Oklahoma. We've got animals selling in Missouri. We've got some really nice Angus pairs that are selling here for 4T Cattle LLC, folks. They've got some 4- and 5-year-old purebred Angus pairs that'll sell. These got big calves at the side. We've got a lot of video footage, folks, and we've got the owners' names and their numbers for these animals that are being sold all across the country, all Pharaoh-influenced. This female sale starts to close here at 1 o'clock this afternoon. 305 different sellers will sell a total of 2,328 items on the sale here Wednesday, June the 7th. If you're looking for late model equipment, folks, if you're looking for older equipment, we've got a wide variety of that and everything in between. From 2023 X-Star 700-gallon tandem axle fuel trailers, the Dirt Dog 96-inch grader box 3-point grader is being sold. The 2010 Haybuster 2650 bale processor. We've got tractors and spraying equipment and haying equipment and motor graders and construction equipment. John Deere 680 combine selling in Sublette, Kansas. We've got John Deere 225 LC excavator selling in Petersburg, North Dakota. There's a 2013 Case IH Steiger 450 heavy-duty four-wheel drive tractor selling in Vermillion, South Dakota, and McPherson, Kansas, folks. A 2011 Apache AS 1020 self-propelled sprayer sells. A 2021 John Deere 6155M mechanical front tractor sells in Pipestone, Minnesota. There's a 2019 Kenworth T680 semi-truck tractor selling in Freedom, Oklahoma. There's a Mack truck with a boom on the back selling in Springfield, Illinois. I'm just touching on a few of the many, many items that are selling to the highest bidder on BigIron.com Wednesday. Please start doing your due diligence today and contacting all these owners and asking the questions as everything sells once again to the highest bidder with no reserves. And then on Thursday of this week, folks, it's the Dan Wiedenfeld Estate Sale by Hardington, Nebraska. Dan passed away at 49 years of age. The prime of his farming career, and boy, does he have an outstanding late model lineup of machinery. 2 John Deere S 770 combines selling. He's got a Case IH Steiger 435 four-wheel drive tractor with a dozer blade. There's a John Deere 6140M mechanical front tractor. He's got a Volvo semi-truck tractor, 2017 year model, a 2020 John Deere 1775 24-row 30-inch planter that's been barely used. There's a white GMC auto car truck that's got a manure spreader mounted on the back. There's a 2012 Honda Foreman. He's got livestock feeding equipment and a whole lineup of these late model Case IH tractors, folks. There's a Magnum 305. All of his tractors are just pre-def, but they're super low hours. And they'll sell to the highest bidder here on June the 8th. The equipment located by Hardington, Nebraska. Just a tremendous offering. Please support the family as the estate sale is kind of an emotional one. 4 children and the wife are here dealing with something they didn't expect to do, folks, when Dan passed away at the age of 49 years of age. We've also got some real estate selling on Friday, folks. Mercer County, Illinois, 241 acres will sell in 3 different tracts for SAS LLP, folks. If you're looking for land, if you're looking for livestock, if you're looking for machinery, a whole week's worth of auctions, a lot of activity taking place. Go to the Big Iron website for all the latest information.
Is pain keeping you from doing what you love? If your neck, shoulders, back, or knees are preventing you from feeling your best, it's time to take action. Whether you've had it for years or it's due to a recent injury, you don't have to live with the pain. Pearson Physical Therapy of Broken Bow offers personalized treatments and flexible appointments that work around your busy schedule. Call Pearson Physical Therapy at 872-5800 or visit us on the web at pearsonpt.com. The treatment you need, the care you deserve.
Hello, I'm Chris Smith of the Palmer Monument Company. You already know about the advantages of pre-selecting your family memorial. Now there's yet another good reason to come and see us today. For the entire month of June, with a coupon from the newspaper, you'll receive additional savings off our already sale prices. We'll assist you in selecting the stone, the inscription, and the artwork, and we'll save you money too. Come see us during the After Memorial Day sale at the Palmer Monument Company in Broken Bow and Lexington.
The Get Up and Go Breakfast Show.
My day starts right.
With Dave and Brent.
8:31, what a nice segue. Palmer Monument ad just after the Pearson Physical Therapy ad.
Yeah.
Perfect combination.
I don't know who you got to record that, but you didn't pay him enough.
Who was that man?
Yeah. He sounded so trustworthy, though.
Yeah,
I wish we could talk to him more.
In person would be
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, there he is.
It's Chris Smith, Palmer Monument.
Hey, yeah. I think I recorded that ad several years ago.
We've been using it for a while, haven't we?
It works. It works.
Well, that's because you guys are so consistent on offering savings in June, right?
That's right. So, 2 times a year we try to do a sale, once in wintertime in January, February, and then June is our other time after Memorial Day. And we figure folks have been to the cemetery and have kind of seen, oh, I have a friend that has a monument out there, or, oh, yeah, we forgot, Aunt Betty died last year. We need to kind of get that done because we just went and put flowers on the grave. So this is another opportunity for folks to come in and do their shopping, do their pre-planning and things like that. And, of course, we have great manufacturers that allow us to have a rebate and get a little bit of money back so you can save. We always try to have things on sale or sale items that are in the showroom or even that we buy in bulk. But this time of year we can save another up to another $175 on a stone that's $1,750 or better. So it's just a good time to do that, and that's when we figured out it works for us.
I would like to add something to that. I guess I actually did some business with you recently.
Yep.
And I thought, the service was fantastic. The results were fantastic. And all things considered, when you think about that stone being set and then being there for, I don't know, hundreds of years quite possibly, when you think about the investment, it's really, pennies a day at that, right?
Yeah, it really is. And, we try to stay as affordable as we can. We have been very fortunate. I think I've been back almost 20 years now. Our prices have gone up in that 20 years, but compared to like the cost of a vehicle or a house or other commodities that are out there, really it's been pretty minimal. We go up every usually 3 years or so, and it might be 5% in that time. So we've really stayed under the cost of inflation. About the only time we've really had a big bump was here through COVID, and that was supply chain related and transportation related and things like that. Not so much on our end in production size, but we still try to think that there's a great value out there. You're right. It's going to be out there for hundreds of years. Hopefully we do the work in the right way, that things are easily readable. We try to use products that are going to hold up. Sometimes we're slow to introduce new products because we want to make sure that they do well.
Mm-hmm.
Our industry is pretty tough on new entry to things because we know that family's going to come back in 50 years and go, this picture faded on my stone. I need a new one, and you need to replace it. And so we don't like to have those conversations, say, hey, well, I'm sorry that didn't hold up. Yeah, it just wasn't a real great product. So even something as simple as that porcelain picture on the outside, in the 30s and 40s, those were hand painted. And so those held up really well. Well, then as things went into mass production and they used film and things like that, those things were great, but they didn't hold up to ultraviolet rays until finally a company came out probably in the mid-'80s, early '90s, Paradise Pictures out of California, and they had some state-of-the-art technology, still copyrighted, patented, but theirs is guaranteed not to fade. It's not going to chip. Or anything like that, so it holds up. And if for some reason something would happen, we're idiots and we drop it on the ground and it chips, or somebody comes by and they're like, we don't like Dave, we're going to take a hammer to it. They hammer it. We call them and they just send us another one out, and there's no charge, so we take it off the stone and put the new one on for the family. But we've had those pictures. We've been using those since the 90s and have had, I don't think we've ever replaced one because of their issue. Anytime that we've replaced one has been because we did something incorrectly on an installation, or like I said, there was a vandalism or a stray rock that came by from a mower or something like that. And even then, it's a handful in 20-some years.
Yeah. Well, talk a little bit about the things that you can't control, and I think it might be worth mentioning. And I'd like to talk a little bit more about design, because I was always fascinated what you can do nowadays with all the new technologies and things with digital and so forth. But some of the things that are uncontrollable would be water, floods in cemeteries, and the settling of stones and so forth, and maybe one of the taller ones starts tipping and that sort of thing, and I imagine that's something that you get asked about a lot.
Yeah, we do, and Mother Nature does wreak havoc a little bit on them. We've tried to work hard and worked with, once upon a time, the engineering department down at UNL to figure out what's the best way to put a foundation in, because, you would think, the old rule was always dig down 3 foot below the frost line and put your foundation in, and so some cemeteries had regulations that, we felt like we were digging to China to put cement down to hold these things in place, and, we use engineered concrete now for precasts, things like that, and through our studies, they've determined that really you're better to float over the top of the frost line with some of these because of the sizes and shapes and things like that, and so we will put that in there, have 3 to 4 inches of concrete underneath that foundation, so it's there, and that's more just a leveling issue for us. It's not a foundation integrity thing, because by the time you're this engineered concrete is 30,000 psi, you're never going to have enough weight on it that there's an issue, but it's there. But it does make it easier, so that way, if there is a little bit of frost heave or the ground shifts, which the soil just shifts in Nebraska, or sometimes we always say the ground grows up around the foundation because of erosion and things, or the sediment blows out of the cornfield and piles up, and then grass starts growing. Well, we can come in and easily raise those back up, with some levels and things like that. So so we go in, and this time of year in the summer seems to be when we do a lot of that work. Again, people have been in the cemeteries and they notice it, or a cemetery will call us and say, hey, we've got a $5,000 budget. What can you come in and fix some of these? We got some big stones, and we'll go in and do work for a half a day or a day, something like that. Send a crew in and try to do as many stones as we can for a cemetery to do that. Sometimes people have family plots that just need to be redone, or back in the 50s, they might have used clay bricks underneath them because that's what they had, and they did that, and those were great foundations for the time. But what happens when clay gets wet and then dries and wets and dries? It crumbles. So eventually that kind of turns. So sometimes we have to come and put a new foundation underneath those. It's kind of a fun fact. Sometimes pre-1950, the bottoms of those monuments are just rocked. They're not cut like they are today to sit level. So sometimes they're just dug into the dirt. And so sometimes you're just trying to re-level them that way, or you're pulling them all the way apart, pouring concrete, setting them down into the wet concrete to try to give them some sort of a better foundation or base that'll hold up a little bit longer. So it's every time you go in to do a little bit of work like that, it's a crapshoot and kind of a treasure hunt.
Yeah.
Because you never know what you're going to get underneath there, and sometimes you get back to that guy that wanted to dig 6 foot down underneath the frost line or something like that. And I think the biggest one we ever had, one time we were pulling up a foundation, and there was a post hole, and it was 11 foot of concrete, just like in a post hole shape down below, that this person had dug and put it, just all came up out of the ground, but
wow.
Yeah, so you find all kinds of crazy things, and so sometimes we think, oh, that's quick, it'll take us 15 minutes to do it, and then we get into it, and like 5 hours later we're like, what did we get into?
Yeah. Well, when folks go out and walk the cemeteries, we don't think about what is underneath to make those stand straight and so forth. So that was a question I've had, because I know you guys spend a lot of time on that, and that's something that you really can't control. So
right.
So you don't offer a warranty or anything on that. I don't think you could.
No, but we do try to, we do understand that if something goes out there and in the first couple of years there's some settling, or somebody, there was a fresh grave dug, something like that, and we can catch it before it tips or falls. A lot of times we'll run over and do that, free of charge to do that, because, we kind of understand that that's also not the fault of the customer if the ground was moved and unsettled. So case by case, but yeah, something that's been out there 15, 20 years, obviously we just have to charge for that labor.
All right. And also, I know that we've talked about this before, but it's so much fun to talk about. Let's just say I don't know if you've heard, I've got a new business I'm starting.
Lawn mowing business?
Yeah, knife sharpening and
right.
and lawn service. And let's say somebody snapped a picture of yours truly on my mower, mowing my customer's yard, my neighbor's yard.
Right.
And later decided, that was such a warm, fuzzy picture. I'd like to have that put on Dave Stone when he's gone.
Yeah.
Was that possible?
That is possible. And really, there's a number of different ways. We talked about that paradise picture. If you've got a nice color photo that you want, high resolution, we can certainly just send off and have that put on there and attached to the stone. If, let's say, you're partial to black granite and you want something that's lasered on to kind of always be in the stone, that's part of the surface. So we do run our own laser down here, so we can do that, put it through some editing software, through our photograve process to clean that up, have a nice clear image on the stone of you doing that. But let's say that it was a little fuzzy because like somebody went by in their car and was just trying to snap it real fast. So we have that. Well, then we have an artist on staff that sometimes we can recreate that photo. And so it's a little more of a character drawing of it, but we can draw that and put that on there, and then we use a sandblast. And we would do that also if it was like a colored granite, like a gray or a mahogany or something like that didn't lend itself to being lasered. So multiple ways that we could take care of that for you, Dave.
What about detail? Let's say you had the picture or the drawing, even,
right,
and there was in the background, in the window, there was a little guy peeking out the window, the owner of the property or the person who lived there. Could you get that in the picture?
Yeah, we certainly could. In fact, we've taken, especially in the laser situation, if we blow it up, we've taken those kids' wallet photos, that you give to grandma that sit there, and we've blown those clear up to like 3 and 4 foot lasers that we could get that. So I think if the quality of the picture is there, you could see that. Almost make them life-size looking out the window if you needed to.
Yeah. Also, could you remove the dandelions?
Yes, we have that ability as well. So whether we just don't have them drawn in or you send it off to the photo company and just say, hey, we need to remove these, and they'll take them right out.
All right. That's just an example.
Yeah, but good example, good thoughts. Yep. So, if you, let's say, we could probably even go as far as if somebody had like a bill in their hand that you could see the detail of the bill.
That would be my administration.
Right. Yeah. Or you can put that on the back. We've done the things with like grandma's brownies recipes and things like that. Beautiful. So you can just put the bill on there, like a favorite customer billing statement with fees, or if, it wasn't paid or something like that. I think of the kid from Better Off Dead. I want my $2, that chased the guy around. So if the invoice went uncollected, you could put that on the back, and bill due or something.
I would love
that
in stone.
Yeah.
If I don't collect for that, I would love that in stone.
Yeah. So we could do that.
Okay.
If you just need it on a tile, I can even do a tile for you. Maybe you just want something to, have up on the mantle or something like that, or kind of like your picture in the studio. Yeah, we get a copy of that bill. We'll just put it on a tile for you.
Boy, there's all kinds of possibilities, and all kidding aside, if you have somebody out there who loves farming, loves motorcycling, loves the outdoors, their hobbies that represent them, that's really what you can portray.
Correct. And that's really the neat thing about the memorialization business and what we've seen the change the last 15 to 20 years is, when my dad first started, a lot of times you just, they had kind of canned designs and they were limited a little bit more on what you could do. You used a stencil press. You didn't have computers to draw up things and cutters to cut out the fine details and things like that. So as that's evolved, we've done that, and the personalizations come along the way. So, we do a lot more with etchings and things like that. You have your favorite fishing hole, you take a picture of the lake, and we'll go out there and just put that fishing scene on the stone, and it's been fantastic. And of course, I say this about every time, the internet's been a blessing and a curse, but you see fun stones on the internet, and there's some amazing people out there that obviously have talent beyond what I can do, but people come in with the ideas and they're like, hey, we saw this. I think of one, there's a semi truck that goes around several times, and I get tagged several times a year on Facebook. When that first came out, right away somebody came in like the next week and we're like, we saw this on Facebook. Can you do this semi truck setup? We're like, yeah, we can figure it out and get it done. And so we've done that 2 or 3 times now since that's been done. And so it is fun sometimes trying to figure out that puzzle to get people what they want. But there hasn't been many times we've said no to somebody.
All right. So the sale is underway.
Sale is underway.
Okay.
Run through the end of June here. So it's at all of our locations. So whether you walk into Broken Bow or Kearney or Grand Island or North Platte, or even into one of our representatives that maybe lives up the road in Hyannis or Lyons or something like that, everybody will have that same sale with the discounted coupon on it. We are open Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. We do take a break for lunch, but if you need to meet over the lunch hour, just give us a call. You need to meet in the evenings, give us a call. Weekends, give us a call. It's pretty common that we come in, especially during the sale period, on a Saturday or a Sunday afternoon, because that's when families can meet nowadays. And hey, we're happy to open up and do that and get things figured out for you.
All right. Last question on this, going back to possibly having the photograph, the etching, whatever it ends up being, of yours truly mowing a friend's yard. And you mentioned a bill. If I've been having trouble collecting on the work that I've done so far for my friend and neighbor, do you have a payment plan of some sort?
We do have a payment plan, so we always like to collect in advance. But if somebody has a trouble, we can set it up on flexible payments for them, and they can put down whatever they feel comfortable with and come in as regular as they want to do that until the stone will be paid off. And then once it's paid off, we'll place it in the cemetery for them. So it's a little tougher when you're doing grass because that grass is going to grow.
Yes.
But I have a guy at the lake that takes care of my camper space. He comes in at the beginning of summer and just collects for the whole summer, and then
that would be nice.
So maybe you ought to think about that with some of those slow pay customers. Yeah, and I get a little discount for it.
There's a little bit of problem with that because a lot of times I just am able to go over there when I have time, and that's kind of what I'm up against there. But I appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, if it was a prepay and you had the credit, and let's say you don't get it all used up for mowing, I'm sure that you could, turn around and buy like donuts for the office. I know Christy would love snacks here once in a while.
Well, I'm not sure that's in my budget.
Okay.
But, thanks for the idea.
All right.
Do you have any questions, Brett?
I have a lot of things I'd love to say. I know that.
It's a free show
but before you go, Chris, just talk a little bit about pre-planning, because I know that has, that's probably a lot of what your sale is about in regards to pre-planning.
And really, especially here locally in Custer County, about 80% of the sales that we make are pre-planning. So it's just two folks that are coming in and we start that conversation. Sometimes we get it all done on the first trip in. Sometimes it's 2 or 3 trips in. But, we come in, we talk about, is there anything they've seen that they've liked, or, do they want to do something like Grandma and Grandpa? Do we want to do something completely different? What color, what kind of granite do we want? And then we talk about even like sometimes lead times on them. Supply chain was throwing havoc in it. Things have corrected, but I still have a couple of colors that take about 11 months to get here, while others, I can have in 2 to 3 months. So we talk about things like that. We do talk about what would you like on it. Do you want pictures of the family on there? Do you want, Husker emblems? Do you want just something simple and maybe nothing on it? So we go through those. Maybe somebody just wants a feature piece where they combine a couple of granites, or they want a statue. We've got a family that wanted a bronze statue done, so we commissioned that. So we just start that, kind of figure out maybe even budgets, and a lot of times people don't know what a budget, what does the average person spend, and so we're just about education. And again, it doesn't make a difference to us if you have $400 for a memorial or $40,000 for a memorial, whatever's your budget, and we say, okay, this is what we can work in and do this. And sometimes we make concessions based on that. Sometimes somebody really wants this, so they go up a little bit, and that's where pre-planning comes in, because like you said, with the payment plans, or they know, okay, well, what I wanted cost me, I thought it was going to be $4,000, but it's $6,000. But I'm willing to do $6,000, but it's just going to take me a little time to pay for it. So they can work all those types of things out. But we can get things ordered, we can get the process, we can get the design done, and then we can work on stuff like that. So we try to be really simple and make it as comfortable for people as they can, and have a little bit of fun and crack jokes, and it's inevitable that we're all going to need it. So we don't get real wishy-washy or sad and teary about it. We try to make it a pleasant experience.
Yeah. Well, the beautiful thing about that too is that if you're pre-planning, and I'm sitting here going, haven't done that yet, but we've been talking about it. We don't want somebody else to have to do it.
Right.
That's really the most important part of it, I think.
And usually, and now we've been doing this pre-need sale for, since the 90s is when Dad started it. And we have people now coming in and going, we're doing it because Mom and Dad did it. And when Dad passed away, that was so nice because it was out there. We didn't have to worry about that. And I don't want my kids to have to worry about that. So we're starting to get into that second generation of pre-planning, and that's always nice to hear. I mean, it's something that we preach, but yeah, you're seeing it now and how impactful it is. And of course, cremations have been a big thing, and so now we're trying to educate, because it's kind of taken a step back, because sometimes people go, okay, I'm getting cremated, I've made my decision, I'm done, but they don't think what happens to those ashes. Do they sit in a closet? Do they go on the mantle, or are they in the back of somebody's trunk of the car? And believe me, people have found them there, because they didn't know what to do with them. When really, most people do go ahead and get a place at the cemetery and at least put some of the ashes there. Maybe they scatter some, bury some, or put it in a stone. And so we're almost having to re-educate some of the folks that are getting cremated to say, hey, yes, you're getting cremated, but still pre-plan that memorial as well. And so that's been kind of the customer realization the last few years, is they realize, oh, there's cremation memorials. Yeah, I need to do that. I still need to have that plot. If you're in the Catholic Church, they do a real good job of telling their congregation, yep, you can get cremated, but you're going to a cemetery. So those folks come in, but some of the folks that maybe aren't as religious, that's they just hadn't given it all the way, that kind of thought. So our campaigns right now, that's who we're focusing on. We still have our pre-need sales, but outside of our pre-need sales, throughout the year, if you go to the movie theater, you'll see a couple of things. We're doing some streaming videos, and that's all on education for the cremation customer that we still need to memorialize.
Mm-hmm. It's always fun having you in. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
What are you looking? You're staring at me.
Dramatic pause, looking at you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dead air, guys, dead air.
Oh no!
In high school, you hear it yelled down the hallway, dead air.
Dead air.
Yeah.
We had some of that Sunday for a power outage. That was not fun.
Yeah.
But anyway, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it, Chris.
Appreciate it, guys.
Palmer Monument, ready to go to work for you, and there are sales going on right now. Here's Sturgill Simpson on the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. That one's called Old Sarah. The banjos and mandolin all going at the same time there. Sounding good. Hey, neighbor.
Hi, neighbor.
As we continue, the Garden Center in Broken Bow has been going hot and heavy, and they continue with their 7 days a week. 10 a.m. to 5:30 Monday to Friday, 10 to 4 Saturday, and noons, I'm going to try that again. 10 to 5:30 Monday to Friday, 10 to 4 Saturday, and noon to 4 on Sunday. And they're open for your convenience. Sometimes they're even a little longer than that. The greenhouse has been well stocked. It was full to start with, and they keep getting products in, so they're not out. They might be a little thin in spots, but they still have plenty of things that you can plant in your garden, in your flower bed, or even potted plants in your home. They're ready to go for you. And I don't know if it's too late. I really think you could go ahead and put some seed potatoes in, some onion sets, and sweet corn, of course, and beans and so forth. So talk to them about it. Of course, they won't sell you something that it's too late for, but a lot of people have basically 2 gardens in a season. So you know what you're doing out there for your vegetables and fruits and so forth, hot peppers, tomatoes. Stop in and get your gardening items. If you have any questions or concern about those things, ask them. They're always willing to help. And watch their Facebook, because they're always on Facebook updating you. And don't forget about that wonderful patio furniture they have that is selling like hotcakes right now. You can take a look at that when you walk in or on Facebook. The Garden Center, Broken Bow, Nebraska, just off Highway 2, 1 block south. Turn at the dollar store. Can't miss it.
All right. Nebraska Owners Insurance Agency with locations locally in Callaway and Broken Bow. It's a great time to reach out and get a quote with Chip or Tina to see what they can do to keep your policies affordable with the coverage that you need. Of course, we're in that time of year. We're going to get those pivots going and everything, and you want to make sure that your center pivot, wells, and all the components are covered by insurance. And Chip has the experience and knowledge to make sure you have the appropriate coverage. Also, don't forget to reach out to Liana with any questions on your health and Medicare insurance. If you're turning 65 or maybe you're leaving an employer policy or just have questions on your current coverage, they can help. Any time is the right time to make sure you have the right amount and right kind of life insurance. There are several different kinds of policies that are appropriate for any phase of life, and Liana can advise you on those as well. So give them a call or stop in at their offices in Broken Bow or Callaway. The numbers are 836-2201 in Callaway, 872-6996 here in Broken Bow. Nebraska Owners Insurance Agency.
You are listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI, KBBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News Brief. The European Union blaming Russia for shelling a vital dam in Ukrainian territory it occupies.
I can already say that the destruction of Nova Kakhovka Dam brings the targeting of civilian infrastructure and civilians in Ukraine to unprecedented new level.
Russia blames Kyiv for the attack, which is flooding local towns and potentially threatening operations at the Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant. Build a $90 million police and firefighter training center in an urban forest in a poor black part of Atlanta.
I am for it. I ask the council to vote with your consensus and with the community's long-term interests.
Dozens of other Atlantans argued against it in an all-night city council meeting. The training center passed. Former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie launching his bid for the Republican presidential nomination today. CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns has more.
Remember, Christie was once a Trump ally and advisor, but now he's trying to set himself apart from the rest of the field as one of the toughest Trump critics in the race.
CBS News Brief, I'm Vicki Barker.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Nick Cope.
In the Stanley Cup Final, the Vegas Golden Knights have taken a 2-0 series lead on the Florida Panthers following another lopsided win in Game 2, 7-2 the final score. Jonathan Marchessault and Brett Howden each scored a pair for Vegas. Game 3 Thursday night in Florida. In baseball, Nevada lawmakers adjourned their legislative session last night without holding a vote on the bill that would provide public funding for a new stadium for the A's in Las Vegas. Governor Joe Lombardo said he would call a special legislative session, which could include assessing financing for the A's. The NFL is investigating Colts corner and kick returner Isaiah Rodgers for possible violations of the team's gambling policy. Rodgers addressed the circumstances on Twitter last night, posting in part, quote, "I know I have made mistakes, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to repair the situation," end quote. At the French Open, world number 2 Arina Sabalenka advanced to the semifinals.
Here's your weatherology forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Daytime highs approaching 82. Today, under mainly clear skies, winds out of the east, 8 to 15 miles per hour. Mainly clear skies again. Tonight, slight chance for scattered storms, lows level off around 57. Chance for scattered thunderstorms again. Tomorrow, daytime highs approaching 81, mainly sunny skies and calm. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki.
Inflation has pushed up the cost of just about everything, which means if you bought life insurance a few years ago, it might not be enough to protect your family today. Now is the time to get the insurance you need at a price you can afford. In a hurry? Don't worry. Call Select Quote now and get up to $2 million in instant, affordable, same-day coverage with no medical exam. That's right. You can get up to $2 million in instant, affordable, same-day coverage with no medical exam in under an hour.
Call Select Quote at 1-800-613-8990. That's 1-800-613-8990. Or go to SelectQuote.com now and get up to $2 million in instant, affordable, same-day coverage with no medical exam. That's 1-800-613-8990. Or go to SelectQuote.com now. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
9:04, 69 degrees outside under a sunny sky. Brent and Dave with you here on this terrific Tuesday morning. Jody's here from Off-Broadway Assisted Living. How you doing?
Good. Good morning.
Good. I have a question for you.
Okay.
A sidebar question. We call them here on the Breakfast Show. We don't have a bar in here, but we call it a sidebar question.
Okay.
Do you think would be? I haven't brought this up to Brent, but we were just talking with Palmer Munyon about things, and if I was cremated when I passed away, when I kicked the bucket,
okay,
would it be weird if I asked to have just a few of my ashes sprinkled on my neighbor's yard where I started my business?
I think that would be a little weird, yes.
Oh, you don't think it would be appropriate? Just a few ashes. I want to take some other places, but I could put just a few ashes on Brent's yard where I started my knife sharpening and lawn business.
And let me guess, somehow, some way, I would then get a bill later for the spreading of your ashes on my lawn.
Well, there would be probably some fertilizer effect to
that. Oh, Bernie, you're the best.
The other question I have, if I can find it, Jody, this is kind of interesting. I know that this is what we promised to talk about earlier, and I thought maybe you'd help us with it.
Okay.
Let me find.
I will try.
Okay. Oh, here we go. A controllable video camera that you swallow. Now let me just explain to you. No need to have a doctor shove a tube down your throat anymore with a camera on it. A scientist at George Washington University just developed a camera in a pill.
Okay.
They can control it with a joystick. It's magnetic, which allows the doctors to move it around in all directions inside your stomach. The cameras you swallow aren't new, but this is the first one that can be controlled remotely. It means you no longer have to be put under it either, when you have your stomach checked out. We're just wondering, do you think they can bring it back out?
I don't know, and I don't want to know exactly which way, so...
Oh, poor Jody. Sometimes she has to wonder, why do I even come out here?
That's a whole new level of medical stuff that I I'm not in.
Okay. All right. Here's the transition or segue, we call it here in radio.
Okay.
You help people take their pills.
We do.
At Off-Broadway, so they make sure they don't forget one or take, too many of one.
Yes.
Right now, you don't have pills with joysticks.
No.
But you are able to help them with their daily medication.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. We're not into the whole new technology of that yet, so.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll follow that.
Okay.
And you might let us know if there's any new developments on that end.
Okay.
Brent, do you have any questions for Joe? That's all the questions I had.
That's all the questions, yeah. Well, give us an update. How are things going? I mean, I know that you've come in the past and the last few weeks, and you've talked about how you're about full.
Yeah, we're getting there. We've got myself and two other gals, Danielle and Felicia, that are working on it.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to get everything going, and it's looking up. It's looking bright.
Well, that's good. Good.
Yeah.
I know that at Off-Broadway, it's probably like a lot of places, things kind of change during the seasons, and here we are in the summer, and I'm sure that the residents have enjoyed being able to get out, whether it be out to the gazebo or you guys have a garden?
We do.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Residents love it.
I bet they do.
Some of them are just kind of taking it over and doing their own thing, and that's fine.
Yeah, that's great.
That's perfectly fine with us.
Yeah.
So
good.
Yeah.
Let's see, other things that are going on that you wanted to talk about here this morning, or?
We are filling the positions. Thank goodness. We've added Renee Davis for our dietary/housekeeping manager. We've got Danielle Flaster as our office manager. Felicia Brock came back to us as our activities director. So the only thing that we have right now is our RN consultant full-time with a $2,000 sign-on bonus, and then a part-time medication aide.
Okay.
So, and that can be a weekend warrior if that's what works into your schedule. That's fine. We would look at that.
Okay. And you're kind of the contact person, I'm guessing,
Yes.
for those opportunities.
Yeah, so you can give me a call at 308-872-2522 or email administrator@offbroadwayapartments.com.
Yeah. Well, I know you have a great team, and it's not just the staff and the residents. You're all kind of a team, aren't you?
We are.
Yeah.
It takes all of us, not just one individual, to make it all come together and work. And, between the residents and the staff, I couldn't ask for better.
Yeah. Well, you've got a great facility. We've had the opportunity to be in there a couple of times. What I love about it is there are areas in the facility, if you want to get out of your room, let's say it's raining outside, you can't go outside, certainly in the wintertime,
Yes.
you don't want to be outside. But there are so many areas within the facility that you can kind of still get away, whether it be get away to visit with somebody in the facility, but you don't have to just stay in your room. And I think that's a real nice benefit of the facility.
It is. Thank you. We try to get it so that even in the winter months that everybody can be included.
Mm-hmm.
We have the residents do puzzles in the small dining room all the time. Usually there's a group between 3 and 6 that go in there and work on puzzles and get one done, start another one. And, it's just kind of fascinating to watch them and interact, and everybody's getting along. Nobody's having problems. It's a great atmosphere.
Now, how difficult are the puzzles? Are they the ones with the great big pieces, or are these tiny little pieces that are all the same color?
It just depends. We've had all kinds of different ones in there. We've had one that I think it took the residents probably a good 2 weeks to finish.
Really?
Between all of them.
Yeah.
It just depends upon what it is and how big the puzzle actually is. So it's good.
Well, there you go. There's a perfect example of the fact that everybody there is just kind of one big family.
Yes.
And you all get along, and it's really turned into a great place.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, we've been striving for the whole community, vision, and I think we're accomplishing that. And with a few updates that we're doing, I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
So.
And if someone is interested in Off-Broadway, and maybe it's not, they're like, it's down the road.
Yes.
But if they're interested, it's never too early to just kind of start the conversation, is it?
No, it's not. That's the best time to do it. So then we know what you're looking for, so we can keep our eye open, and as soon as something comes along, we can contact you and let you know.
Okay, good.
So,
anything else that you wanted to mention, or have we kind of touched on the main things?
I think we've kind of touched on the main things right now. We're just plugging along like everybody else, and it's gorgeous outside, so our residents are getting outside and enjoying that. We've got a few things up my sleeve coming up, so
good.
Kind of excited, so we'll see what happens.
All right.
Thanks, Jody.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. And
Thank
thanks
you.
for answering all of our questions.
You're welcome, Dave.
Thank you.
See, this is when you get really nervous. I've worked with this guy for 30 years. And when he gets that contemplative look, it's the question where he's like, do I ask it or do I not ask it? And trust me, you're better off if he doesn't ask.
If he doesn't ask it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do want to give you a compliment, though.
Oh? What's that?
Well, you're just talking about being almost full with rooms, almost every position filled except for a couple of exceptions.
Right.
And you started, how long have you been the director there, the head of the?
It's been just over a year, so February 1st of last year is when I took over.
So you were coming out of the pandemic.
Yes.
And the pandemic started early for facilities like this one and lasted longer than any of the other types of businesses or facilities out there. So you started when things were not very easy.
Not easy at all.
Not easy at all. And with your expertise and the staff, you've made it to this point. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Well said.
We appreciate that.
Very nice. We'll take a time out with these words on The Breakfast Show.
When it comes to protecting your field from disease and environmental stress, there's Revitec fungicide. And there's everything else. When it comes to unparalleled power, there's Revitec. And everything else. And when it comes to speed and stamina, this is Revitec. And this is everything else. Nothing else comes close to Revitec fungicide from BASF. Always read and follow label directions. Who's there?
It's coming for your soybean fields.
It's pigweed!
The pigweed! It's everywhere!
Oh no! My soybean fields! Run!
Yes, run to keeppigweedaway.com and protect your fields with a layered residual herbicide program from BASF. Always read and follow label directions.
This Father's Day, find the perfect gift for the dad who loves the perfect yard. From steel chainsaws and blowers to trimmers and edgers, you'll find gas-powered tools that Dad is sure to love. Visit your local steel dealer and save $30 on the FS56 RCE trimmer. Real steel. Find yours at steeldealers.com. Offer valid for a limited time at participating dealers while supplies last.
Dave and Brent with you on the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. It's 9:16. A couple of things that we want to tell you about. And I'd like to start with the Quilting Shack and Cleaning Shack, East Highway 2, Broken Bow, Nebraska. And they are ready to help you in many different ways. Let's start with the Cleaning Shack. This is a dry cleaning service and cleaning service, period, that you can take advantage of. We want you to know that you can still get things professionally cleaned, and there's our garments that need to have that service. And there's also just the nice, service if you don't want to maybe wash all your own shirts. So take them in, and they'll come back bright and cleaned from the Cleaning Shack out on East Highway 2. Now, here's how it works. You drop your goods off. The deadline is Wednesday by 11:30 a.m., and you'll have the goods back the following Wednesday by 4 o'clock. So that way you can kind of plan when you have those things cleaned. Also, on the quilting shack side, don't forget now we're in full swing ahead here for 4-H projects, and they can help with all of those. There's a lot of sewing that goes on and different crafts and so forth for 4-H. We kind of sometimes overlook that because of the animal side of it, but the 4-H projects are vast and will be on display this late July and early August here at the Custer County Fair and other fairs as well. So if you're involved in 4-H or your family is, they're offering a 20% discount on your purchase for 4-H activities. And you also can find the Word of the Week in their Facebook page each week, giving you a discount on your purchase. So always watch their Facebook and take part in the Word of the Week and save some money. The Quilting Shack East Highway 2, along with the Cleaning Shack East Highway 2. They're back to the regular hours now at the Quilting Shack. They're closed Mondays, open Tuesday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 5:30, Saturdays 11 to 4.
Coming up on Saturday, it's Community-Wide Garage Sale Day in Callaway. Each year they bring hundreds of people to Callaway. People from all over the area come to visit Callaway to take advantage of Garage Sale Day, and it's coming up on Saturday, June 10th, this Saturday. Rain or shine, 30 families already signed up in 23 locations. Out in the country a little bit, right there in Callaway, it's Garage Sale Heaven. Fun, food, great buys, treasures, and bargains galore, many of them running from 8 until 2 this Saturday, June 10th. To find a map of all of the garage sale locations, you can stop by one of the chamber merchants the week of the sale this week at Callaway, and also maybe grab a map online. They're available there as well. Some of the merchants in Callaway will have special sales going on as well, so come early, stay all day. The best buys are in Callaway, sponsored by the Callaway Chamber of Commerce.
time to thank some folks that we don't thank often enough, and that's the folks that we have with their ads on our live streaming of the breakfast show that they pop up and then they go away, and another one pops up and goes away. And it's all of the folks who are supporting our live stream of the breakfast show on Facebook and on the other platforms, YouTube, and is it Skitter or Skeeter?
Yeah, it might be Twitter.
Twitter.
Yeah, or is the breakfast show on Twitter? Yeah, it might be.
I think you can get it on. But most people either get it on YouTube or on the Sandals Express Facebook page. But take note of those businesses. That there's V-Bar right there, and pretty soon another business will come up, and they help make this work. Broken Bow Housing Authority now popping up. And so thank you to all of our sponsors who are on the show every day visually. And thanks to all the businesses who are on the air with us throughout the day on both our radio stations. We have been blessed with people who have been our business partners for a long time, and then we have new business partners, and it's just phenomenal. This business has been going since 1949 and thrives only because of the listeners and the businesses. And we don't often just stop for a moment and talk about that. We need to do that more often, Brent.
Yeah. Another one of those great participating sponsors is Ansley Lumber. And they want you to know that as you prepare for these warm weather projects throughout the summer, they have everything that you need. Things like LP Expert Finish and Diamond Coat Siding, TimberTech and Armadillo Decking, Pella and Marvin Windows, Creosote, Copper Q-Nap and Hedge Posts, Ag Supplies, Metal, Post Frame Buildings with Visualizer and Pricing, Benjamin Moore Paint, GAF, Malarkey and Tamco Shingles, Quartz and Granite Countertops, Cabinetry, whatever you're going to be working on this summer, they've got everything that you're going to need. So give them a call today at 935-1815. You can also stop by Ansley Lumber and Supply. They're locally owned and operated right there in downtown Ansley. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5:30. Open on Saturday as well from 8 until noon. And if you need them to, they can visit with you about delivering things to the job site. So just give them a call. Stop by and see them at Ansley Lumber and Supply.
Thank you, Brent. Anything else this morning?
Business-wise, I think we have it all taken care of.
All
my
right.
friend, my neighbor.
Good buddies.
My father and brother all in one, I guess you would be to me.
Yeah, and co-host.
Co-host,
Don't forget
too.
co-host.
Yes, yeah.
And business associate.
Yeah.
Have a good day, everybody. Take care.